Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a video on how to avoid having your makeup looking cakey, because having cakey makeup is just not cute, and I know it's very common right now in the winter time because your skin is very dry. So a lot of you are experiencing dry skin, more drier than normal. Your foundation might not be going on as smoothly, and it can really be a struggle because you don't want your foundation to look cakey. You want it to look very nice and natural, and you don't want to look like you're wearing foundation, obviously. So I'm going to share with you a bunch of tips and tricks that I know on how to keep your foundation looking good, looking very natural and hydrating, and so your skin does not look too dry. And these tips also apply if you have oily skin as well. All the products and brushes that I'm going to be using are listed on my blog, which is the first link in the description box below. Now let's go ahead and get started. So before you start any makeup, you want to make sure that you moisturize your skin. I like to use the Vino Ultra Calming Daily Moisturizer. This has a SPF in it. That's going to allow for your skin to be hydrated. It's going to look a lot nicer underneath the foundation, and your skin's not going to be as dry. You also want to take care of your skin the night before, so that means exfoliating and using a hydrating night cream. If you want to see more about what I do with my skin at night, you can check out my nighttime routine video, which will be linked down below for you guys. And then I also have a video called Basic Affordable Skincare, or Best Affordable Skincare, and that one will go over just the best affordable drugstore products. But I definitely recommend taking care of your skin at night. Make sure you exfoliate and also hydrate your skin with a thick night cream, and then the next morning is when you would want to use your moisturizer. And then you also want to use an eye cream morning and night. So they make different ones sometimes for night or day, but I just use the same one I use at night in the morning. And you put that around your eyes, and that's going to keep your concealer from looking cakey around your eyes, because the skin around that area is very thin, and it also is prone to dryness since it doesn't produce any oil at all like the rest of your skin. So if you keep that area hydrated, it's not going to look so dry and cakey underneath of your eyes with your concealer. So these two I definitely recommend. This is just the Skin Icelandic Relief Eye Cream. Any eye cream I'm sure will do. This is just one I got in a beauty box that I'm trying out, but I really want to get the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Eye Cream. I've heard some great reviews on that, and I've heard it corrects those little fine lines under your eyes. So I definitely want to check that one out. So let me know if you guys have that, what you think about it. So I have already applied that moisturizer in the eye cream. You want to make sure that you let it sit, because the more that it sits, it's going to soak into your skin and it's not going to cake up under your foundation. So I've had it on for a while now because I've been setting up these crazy lights and stuff, but you want to at least let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes until you can't feel it on the surface of your skin. So now I'm going to go in with my primer. And primers are excellent at just evening out the texture of your skin, and they're going to help your foundation go on a whole lot smoother. It's going to fill in any of your pores, and it's just going to look a whole lot nicer. This one is great because it is a thick cream, so it's really hydrating for those dry areas. But if you do have super oily skin, I would recommend going with more of a silicone-based primer. They have some at the drugstore that are good. I've heard the Rimmel Fix and Perfect is really good for oily skin. There's the L'Oreal Magic Lumi, I think it's called. There's a lot of different primers that are out now, but I would definitely recommend trying this Magic Perfecting Base if you haven't, if you have either combination or dry skin. And the key with this one, and probably with any primer too, is you want to make sure that you only use a little bit. A little really does go a long way. If you use too much of this, since it is a thick cream, it's just going to look bad underneath your foundation. So when it comes to foundation, you want to look for something that is not too mattifying, because if they're too mattifying, they can be a little bit flat on your skin, which can lead to it looking dry and cakey. But if you have super oily skin, you probably will need to do that or use more of a mattifying powder on top. But for me, I have normal skin, or it can be a little bit combination at times, so I can get away with using like a BB cream or something and then topping it with a powder in the oily areas, or you can use a more dewy finish foundation. So the more hydrated your skin looks, the less cakey it's going to be. Today I am going to go with a BB cream because these are a whole lot more natural looking. They don't look so flat on your skin, and they have more of a luminous texture to them, and your skin can shine through but still having coverage at the same time. I'm going to be using the NYX BB cream. This one is for a combination to oily skin. This one works great at staying on all day, so if you have oily skin, definitely check this out. If you want more of a full coverage, you can always use concealer too and powder over top, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So you're still getting that natural look, but still with the same amount of coverage opposed to a foundation. And I've also reviewed this one. This is the NYX BB cream. I really like this one as well, but I'm just going to be using this one today because this one's more my shade. It's in light medium, and this one is a lot lighter since I do have self-tanner on. Also, making sure that your foundation matches is going to ensure that you don't have that mask look to your face. So I have a whole video on how to choose the right foundation shade. I will link for you guys down below. So for applying foundation, I'm going to be using my beauty blender. Using a beauty sponge like this is perfect for applying foundation to where it doesn't look cakey because it just airbrushes it on, and it's a whole lot lighter feeling. It's not so heavy as using a brush, and you do want to dampen it before you use it because it's going to add a little bit of moisture, so it's really hydrated, and it also makes the Beauty Blender get to its full size and keep it from absorbing too much product. A new one from Real Techniques actually just came out. It's an orange sponge. I've heard a lot of people raving about that one, and it is a lot cheaper than the Beauty Blender. So if you're interested in that one, I will have that one linked on my blog post that goes with this video down below. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the BB cream. Like I said, I'm going to be using the Garnier one. And I'm just applying some of it to the back of my hand, and then I'm going to dip my Beauty Blender in it and just start putting it all over my face. And as you can see, it has a really nice luminous finish, like I said, and it's very hydrating. This combines a moisturizer with a primer and all that in it, so you wouldn't have to use those if you're going with a BB cream, but I still like to, just so I know that it's working, and it just stays on better if I still use a primer. So the key to foundation not looking cakey or BB cream or tinted moisturizer, whatever you're using, is just apply it in light, thin layers. And you can always layer it up if you need more coverage, but just start really light to where you can even out your skin tone and then just continue building it. That way it still looks very light and natural, and your skin can peek through without looking too red or anything. You'll still have good coverage. Using a Beauty Blender is also nice because it absorbs the excess foundation, so you don't apply too much on your skin. And it keeps it from settling into fine lines and stuff because it just soaks it up. So in areas like my forehead, I don't really need as much coverage. I just want to make it the same color. So I'm not really applying more to my sponge. I'm just blending what's already left over. And it still has some product in there, but it's a lot thinner and it's not such a thick layer. If you prefer to use a brush, I would definitely recommend this Sigma Flat Top F80 Kabuki. This one is perfect. It just airbrushes your foundation on. You can stipple it into your skin and it provides full coverage. You just want to be careful to not use too much product or else it'll look a little bit cakey. So right now I have one layer of the BB cream on. That just really evens out my skin tone, and if I still need more coverage on problem areas, you can go back in with another layer if you prefer. That's just what I'm going to do along the side of my mouth here and then on my chin, because I need a little bit more coverage there. So that way you don't have like a full mask of a lot of foundation. You just have a little bit where you need the extra coverage, and then the rest of your skin is evened out with one thin layer. For my under eye concealer, I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This one is great because it is a liquid concealer, and liquid concealers look a lot lighter on your skin and they're not as cakey as like a thick cream one or a stick concealer. Those are a lot drier and they can look a lot cakier, especially under your eyes. So I definitely recommend the MAC Pro Longwear one. It's just fantastic. It also works as an eye base too. It's just amazing, and it doesn't crease or anything. And if you're looking for a good drugstore concealer, I would recommend checking out the NYX HD Concealer. So for the brush that I'm using, it's just this blending brush from Sedona Lace that is actually synthetic. It has the white hairs at the top, and it just works perfectly for blending out concealer under your eyes because it's just so feathery and light. It's like using a stippling brush underneath your eyes. So it just keeps it very light and airbrush looking, and it doesn't just cake it on like you would with your fingers. And then you can just blend it out so easily. I would recommend keeping it very light under your eyes too. You don't want to layer up a bunch of different brighteners and concealers and stuff. Just keep it very light with a very thin layer of concealer just to brighten up but not add too much product under there to where it gets heavy and dry looking. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with my Beauty Blender and blend it out. You can also just use the tip of the Beauty Blender or whatever sponge you have to apply your concealer. I like to do that a lot too, and it just blends it out perfectly. But if you want more full coverage under your eyes, I would recommend using a brush. But this just absorbs that excess concealer, blends it out perfectly, and it just looks so flawless. So now I'm also going to be using this to go around any blemishes. This just works perfectly for that because, like I said, it doesn't make it look too cakey. It just lightly puts on a thin layer of concealer. And if you have a good coverage concealer, you don't need a lot. You only need a thin layer, and it's still going to provide you with enough coverage. And it won't look cakey because you won't have to keep putting it on. And then I'm just making sure it's all absorbed around my nose because that's another area that the foundation tends to collect around, and it can look cakey right there, and then also right here on my chin and then around my mouth. So now just to set under my eyes, I'm using the NYX HD Photogenic Finishing Powder. This is a super finely milled powder, so it works great under the eyes. I just adjust it on with this big fluffy blending brush, and that just sets the concealer, but it's not like you're putting your pressed powder right under your eye. That can just look too heavy, so I just like using something really light like this. And it is translucent too, so it's not going to add any more coverage to it and make it look too heavy. And you could use this all over your face if you want to, but I just really like it for around my eyes. And now they just feel so smooth and not like too sticky or anything. So now for my face powder, I have two here that I really like. This is the Nuance by Salma Hayek. This is available at CVS. This is their mineral foundation, and this works perfectly at setting your foundation. And since it is a mineral foundation, like a pressed mineral, it's going to be a lot lighter on your skin, and it's not super heavy, and it's not going to add too much. This one, on the other hand, is the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation. I really like this because it doesn't look flat on your skin. It does add a little bit more coverage though, so you have to be careful with it not to apply too much or else it's going to look too heavy. But just a light dusting of this is great at setting your foundation and keeping it on all day. But I think I'm going to go with the Nuance one today because it is so much lighter and it's not too heavy or anything. So to apply powder, you could use a stippling brush like this just to lightly dust powder all over your skin. That's going to make it look very airbrushed, and it's not going to apply too much. So using brushes like this are perfect for that. Or you could also use a big fluffy brush like this. These are all from Sigma, by the way. This is great at just dusting it all over your skin as well. And if you want a little bit more area coverage, I like using this e.l.f. Face Kabuki. This is my favorite because it just puts it on so fast, and I can just dab it on my skin. And it's not too heavy or anything as long as you don't apply too much. You can just focus it right on your T-zone. That way you don't get oily in those areas and it still stays on, but you still have that dewy finish on the rest of your face. So that is all for the face makeup. Then you can go in with your bronzer and your blush and everything. Those don't really matter, but I will say that cream blushes do look a lot nicer on the skin. They don't look so flat. And of course, my favorite ones that I talk about all the time are the NYX Rouge Cream Blushes. I love these. I have a whole video on how to apply cream blush that I will link for you guys down below if you want to check that out, because I talk about the best brushes for it and everything, but they just look so dewy and hydrating on your skin and they don't look too flat. So if you wanted to, you could finish off with a makeup setting spray. This is the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet because I just picked it up and I've been trying it out, but so far, I think it looks good on my skin, but I am not crazy about the way it feels on my skin. I can definitely feel that I sprayed something on my face, and I don't like that. So if you know of a really good setting spray, definitely let me know. I know a lot of people like the Urban Decay ones or the Model in a Bottle. So let me know what your favorite ones are, and I am definitely going to check out some other ones. But this one is okay. It is drugstore and it is affordable if you just want to try one out. They also have a mattifying one that's supposed to keep your foundation matte all day. But these are supposed to add hydration to your face after you have all your face makeup on, or you can also use it before. And it keeps it from looking so flat and like you have on makeup. They dry to where you can't see it on your face, so it's not going to look shiny or anything, but it's still going to not look so flat. And it's supposed to keep it on longer too. So that is it for my video on how to keep your foundation from looking cakey. I hope this helped you guys. Definitely let me know in the comments below if it did, because I would love to know that I helped out. And you can always send me an email if you still have questions or concerns about your personal experiences. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's just at glam-me-up if you want to keep up with me day to day. I am still going to be having a Twitter giveaway coming up soon, so make sure you're following me on there so you'll know about that. And you can leave me a comment down below or tweet to me what prizes you guys would like to win so I know what to get for you all. And as always, everything that I use will be linked on my blog, which is the first link in the description box below. So I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody.